very quick before we get into this. Appreciation expressed to Cross Keys. They farm these sheep for 12 months specifically for Golden Shears. Normally this wool type has been harvested pre-Christmas, and there's a number of issues. It's not an easy thing to keep these kind of long wool sheep through the hot summer period. So thank you very much to Cross Keys. They've come in great order. So we've got the 4 finalists, and at the moment you can see clean board, everything is spick and span, just as a work area should be. Ricky Stevens here on stand number 1. He's our poster boy at the moment. He won the triathlon, and he's just getting ready now to set that fleece up to throw. Let's see how he goes. Turns. Yeah, good throws. Look at those throws down the line, Cordell. What do you think?
What a wonderful... I believe Ricky Stevens has got the best throw, Mavis. It's a little bunched up on the left-hand side of the screen there, but he would have to be the best throw that time.
Yeah, just looking from here, I would say maybe 5 penalty points for that throw, maybe a bit more. There's a little bit of overhang, but nevertheless, it's nice, it's easy to find. And as he flicks that over, he's able to just double check that he's got those processing faults.
So you talk about 5 for the fleece throw, but the judge actually had 11 there, so his work with the shearer was probably incurring penalty points as well.
He may have been a little bit lapse in the cleanup as well, in between, as that sheep, as the shearer went into the pen. There's a whole lot of factors. The 12 doesn't necessarily just relate to the throw.
Rere whakaitu. We are with Sarah Davis, and I think this is Sarah's first time here at the Golden Shears. She's got the blue bands on, probably the good luck charms as she's getting ready to roll up. She's looking back at the shearer. She's done the right thing, has she?
Yeah, she's done the right thing. She's gone to get those medullated fibres from the eye cheek, those hollow fibres,
yes,
to make sure that they don't contaminate that lovely fleece wool. Good job, girl. Very good.
Okay, now she's going back to the shearer. Now we're with Bianca Hawe. Bianca Hawe is look. There's quite a lot of wool on the table. Haven't we got a bird's eye view, Mavis, from Noise Productions?
Great view. Some more good throws going on there. Oh, Bianca was a little bit nervous with that one. See how it's kind of bunched at the top end?
She made a mess of that one.
Oh, you're a bit harsh,
No.
Cordell.
She could have done a little better. She just needed to, I suppose, grip it and throw it a little bit higher in the air.
Well, this is the junior. This is the junior grade.
Okay. Humble apologies. It is the junior, but some of these people don't act like juniors.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. How many fleeces have we got?
They've got 4 long wool fleeces. So here we have Tamika Hema from the coast down on the last stand. She's doing a good little job here as well. See how they make sure that all of that short wool is cleared out of that undermine. Good job.
She left a little bit of wool there underneath. Did you notice that? That little wee short, probably 25 mil bits of wool. That's contamination, isn't it?
It is contamination, and any wool or penalty that's left on the board the size of a credit card is a penalty, is one whole penalty.
Well, she's certainly clocking them up now, Mavis. 43 penalty points, and she's only on fleece 2. So she's done something wrong.
Again, just remember these are juniors. They're not quite as experienced. They're not quite as sharp in terms of ensuring that the processes all happen well. But yeah, 43 does seem a little bit high, but let's just not count any chickens before... let's not count our chickens before they've hatched. Here we go, the next throw. Not too bad, but overturned.
The Whakaitu girl has got the best one there. Sarah Davis has got the nicest throw. Oh, Bianca's thrown it a little bit bunched up as well. Ricky Stevens not too bad. We can just barely see Tamika at the end there. But that throw she's had is quite nice. So once the fleece is on the table, they've got to quickly get back to the stage, don't they?
Well, they do, because they need to then clean up the shearing board, because you don't want the shearer bringing that sheep out onto a board that hasn't been swept, because again, you're contaminating that new fleece with short wools, so that's not ideal. And of course the judging is set up to find the absolute perfect job. She's doing well. She's doing well. Look at her. She's found that eye clip. Now there she is, back to the other side of the table. But all of them look like they're right up to scratch with stuff. I think it's Bianca's got a little bit of overhang at that neck end, but she's on to that. Here's Ricky Stevens. He's got a nice, cool, calm, collected sort of a style going on as well.
He's been watching Ronnie Goss, hasn't he?
He has. Well, you know, she's an aunt to them, so she's part of the whānau. She'd be giving him a few tips as well.
Very quiet, very composed, and no rush.
Quite methodical. Went back to that table.
And we talked a little earlier on about this generation of shearer. He's qualified for the, you know, in winning a senior shearing final. So he's not on a high horse, this guy. He's willing to give everything a go.
He's willing to give everything a go. He kind of didn't find that back leg very well with that throw, and as a result you can see on that far side it's not quite as he would have liked it to have been, I'm sure. But it is one of those breaky fleeces, so they're always difficult. I'm not sure if you noticed, he threw some oddments. Oh, yep, he saw it. It went over. So anything that falls over the stage is also going to be penalised. So good spotting, Ricky. Well done.
That's their work area, isn't it? It's on that stage. So if anything goes, and what if they throw wool into the neighbours' baskets? What happens there?
If they throw anything...
How long have they got?
They've got a little while. The judge, there's no set time, but the judge will be watching to make sure that they retrieve it. If after a suitable amount of time, because it depends what else is happening, the judge will retrieve it and penalise. So we're on the clean-up here. This is the most important bit because this is when their time penalty starts. Look down the end. That young girl, she's got it sorted.
Well, Tamika's onto the floor and Bianca's now picked it up.
Yes.
Oh, the Gisborne girl, tied Arfity's first one. Now these other ones are starting to lose points.
There's Bianca.
I think that Sarah Davis, she's just fluffing around a little bit too much there, but she's put her hand up. Ricky's spending a little bit more time, probably too slow.
Possibly, and look under that table. You know, there's of all of what we can see here.
Typical boy, typical man, untidy.
I would probably have to agree.
You would have to agree.
Unless it's Joel.
We're on the same page here today. So that's how they sort of pulled up. Bianca Haware, her board was extremely high. So really, it belongs to Ricky and Sarah, the boards. But now we've got to go. We don't have the time in there. The time didn't come back through. But now, Mavis, that wool, it's got to go around the back, doesn't it?
It's got to go out the back. It's going to be judged on the accurateness of those oddments and, I guess, the perfection of the A-line. So even though we've got a preliminary score, let's not put too much on that.
Well, the score we saw earlier on has changed a little bit. Just looking at the screens behind us, it looks like Ricky and Sarah have jumped up, but so have the others. And that's quite high. That's indicative of the level of skill of these junior shearers, isn't it?
Junior wool handlers, yeah.
Oh, wool handlers, sorry.
And you know, that's probably being a bit tough, but you've got judges who are used to or who are trained to judge to an elite standard. So these young ones just have to cope with that. And it's a learning, it's great for them.
If we could have another shot, production manager oh no, it's probably a little bit late because the floor was very good. And you say if there's bits of wool, so a wool handling judge will just put it in their mind and they'll group it, and it's got to be the size of a credit card. How many points in that? 5?
1 point per credit card.
1 point per credit card.
Yes.
And there is lots of wool on the floor, so the wool handling judges, you know, we talked earlier on about the wool handler themselves being able to have that peripheral vision. The asset is also on the judges, isn't it?
The asset is definitely on the judges. And of course, with now the digital scoring being viewed on the screen, kind of a little bit delayed, but it's there. You have all the experts in the crowd also going, she
I'm
got this much. Yes, I know you are. I know you don't need to see the scores to understand, but for a lot of them, you've got just as many judges in the audience. trying to fit it all in.
So the acid and the blowtorch are heavily on these judges, and especially with those electronic devices that they have now, because what the wool handler will throw, fleece will land, everybody's a judge, and that one over there says, I think that's a 4. That one over there says, I think it's a 2, but the judge gives them an 8.
But the judge is also not only judging the fleece, but the judge will also have their eye on the shearing board. They're looking at the shearing board as well to say how many penalties is left up there as well. So you might see 8 come up, but that might be a combination of the throw and the cleanup. So, you don't know.
He whakamārama Mavis. That is made everything. Marama is a lovely Māori word for making everything clear, and she's just cleared it up. That one's 2, that one's 4, and the judge is 8, so that's how it is. Thank you very much for the clarification, and that's why you're here, Mavis. Look, Mavis has been a Golden Shears winner twice.
I thought you knew all this stuff,
Oh,
Koro.
well, it's a long time ago, and I'm just regurgitating all that information, and it was thankful that you have been able to come up and spend time with us because it's going on. We are now going to the senior wool handling final, and that is sponsored by whom?